What's up, you guys? Hey. What is up? I'm gonna add my friend here. Let's see, I gotta search her. I'm gonna add my friend Roberta. Roberta, where you at? How you guys doing? Everyone good? Roberta won't let me add you. Where you at? Are we friends on Facebook? Allow reviewers to request to join you as a guest in your... I think that's allowed. Roberta. Where you at? What's up, guys? How you doing? Hey. What up?
What up?
Ammon, say hi to peeps.
What up, peeps?
I was just texting you to see if you were awake.
Oh yeah, I'm awake.
Telling you I was going live here soon. But I'm live.
Yeah, you are.
Hey, Becca or who else? Heather. I can't get Roberta live. Like, for some reason it's not letting me like, she's got to be on this or something. It's not letting me add her. Let's see here. Roberta. Yeah, like, I can't find her. Hey guys, what's up? Okay, so any of you can? All right, add Roberta to the second screen. Sorry, Am. I'll get out of your way. Let me I'm gonna go out here. Just barely put my girls down to sleep. Ainsley, say hi.
Hi.
I'm gonna head outside to my porch. It's kind of chilly out here. I'm in Utah. Let me know if you guys can see me okay. Put on a jacket. Can we add Roberta yet? Roberta, where you at? She's gonna monitor these questions. So she took a book. Can you guys see me okay? Let's see. I feel like this is like the interrogation light. Let's see here. What's up, everyone? Can you see that? Okay, let's see. Roberta, you here? How's everyone? Okay, here. She's here. Okay. Bring Roberta on camera. Okay. Christy Benton, what's up? Roberta's here.
Hey. Like,
Roberta,
I pushed the
don't be
button,
too
y'all.
nervous.
You gotta accept me.
There's only like 130 people on right now. No big deal. I'm just going through to see if I even know anyone.
I know some people in here.
Hi,
Hi, Katie.
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear Roberta okay?
Can you hear me? Hi, Amanda.
I mean, I guess you can just give hearts or say hi or say yes. I'm so happy we can get you on
Even though
camera.
I'm already in here, it says I've joined.
It's chilly out here in Utah. Where are you at, Roberta?
Degrees
Forgive me.
today.
Roberta, you there?
It's hot.
Where are you at?
It's hot.
Wait, where are you at?
San Diego.
Oh, that's right. Southern California. You're where I want to be. I'm going to be there on Saturday, though, in LA.
Ah.
Yeah, so I'm heading out to New Zealand. It's going to be really hot.
That's awesome.
So this is kind of fun. I'll give you some background really quick, let Roberta take over. But we were talking, having a little chat, lots of things going on in our life the last 2.5, 3 years. A lot of you may not know who I am. A lot of you may know who I am. I'm going to try not to look at the comments because we could go on for hours, I'm sure, but it is kind of chilly out here, so we'll keep this short. But, before we get into it, I wanted to just kind of preface this and give you my insight. Just be completely honest. That's that's been my main focus for this live, is just to be fully transparent, fully honest. And even if it, if it's a sensitive subject, if you know much about me, I am the nephew of the owner of Lularoe, Deanne. And so that means my mom is her older sister. So, this first starts out with family. And so it can be potentially sensitive for me to talk about sensitive things. I have some cousins on here. There's possibly some reporters on here, some press. There's possibly active Lularoe consultants, mentors, coaches, and also some people trying to go out of business, staying anonymous, but also some people that are really upset right now. And so I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be transparent. But the most important thing that I can do is stand in my own light, my interrogation light, and just be totally transparent with you guys. The bright spotlight. And so so Roberta and I talked about this, that I feel like a lot of people ask a lot of questions, not just about Lularoe, but just maybe the background of our family, the background of myself, but also maybe some of the issues that have gone on that people have felt like they've been lied to, or they haven't been totally transparent to. And I think today was the ultimate day that I know is the time to do this. And so a lot of you have reached out to me saying you're going to watch, and I'm Roberta grabbed some questions, so I'm going to let her kind of mediate this and ask me some questions, and then I will just try and keep it short and to the point, because I know you East Coasters want to go to bed, and you can replay this later on. But if I tend to get a little too negative, I'm going to slow down and not get too emotional when it comes to being fired up about what I have to say.
Okay, so first of all, I want to introduce myself, because I see a lot of people that are like, I don't know who Roberta is. So I joined Lularoe in March of 2016, and I was on a very, very, very heavy recruiting team, and I hit trainer in 4 months, and it was incredibly whirlwind. And I'm in California, so I'm close to home office, so I got to go to a lot of the trainings, and I got to meet everybody, and sort of kind of got in and got to be a fly on the wall for a lot of things. And so a lot of times people will say things and I'm like, oh, I can confirm, I saw that. And I've met Sam several times at San Diego trainings and Chicago trainings and conventions and all kinds of stuff. And Sam was actually one of the people that led me to maybe stop sipping on the Kool-Aid and go, something doesn't look right. So I left in September. I was immediately blocked, banned, unfriended, disconnected from every single person that I was friends with in Lularoe. In fact, when Sam left and all of that, I was told by my upline to unfriend him because he did not align with our culture anymore. And I was like,
I don't align with the culture. Let's talk about that.
I was like, oh, that's kind of culty. All right. So I'm just kind of a fly on the wall, and I thought, you know what? A lot of people have questions. You guys message me all the time and you share your stories. And I thought, you know what? Why don't we do this and go live and share these questions you guys have been asking? And we're going to start with Sam, because I think most people know who Sam is, and we'll go from there. If it's something you guys want to do, we continue to do it.
Yeah. So I'll just start with my
tell us your why. Tell us why you got into Lularoe and everything like that.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So really where it started was I actually happened to be in Southern California during the same weekend convention of 2015 was in July. And I randomly hit up my best friend, who actually works at home office now. And I asked what he was doing that night. I wanted to see him hang out. He's like, oh, my band's playing at Lularoe's convention. And I was like, Lularoe, like my Auntie Anne's company? And I was like, is it cool if I come? And he's like, yeah, come over. So I went and stood by the stage, and I texted my Aunt Deanne. And I'm going to be very positive about this, because this is a positive story. So I texted her and said, hey, is it cool if I'm like at your convention? Like, I'm not a part of your company. And she's like, of course, you better get on stage and sing. And at the time of my life, I was in a really rough spot. I had just gotten a divorce a couple years prior to that. And so being on a stage for me was the past, you know, at that time. And so even her saying that was like, oh no, there's no way in heck I'm getting on stage. So I actually didn't. But that night she actually reminded me, if you guys know much about the lollipop moment, they talk about it a lot. That night she actually reminded me that I was her lollipop moment to start Lularoe. And I'll say that, it's the truth.
So one
There was a
sec,
night where I was driving.
I don't know if there's this whole thing in Lularoe. It's called a lollipop moment. It's a TED talk by Drew Dudley. He's a really awesome guy, but it's just such this like, what's your lollipop moment? Who's your lollipop moment? So if you guys are going, what
Yeah.
the heck's a lollipop moment? It's just this thing that like Lularoe attached itself to, and like every single leader's training, every single leadership, like we watch it over and over and over again. Super Saturday, we watch it, everything. So that's what the lollipop
Yeah.
moment is. Go
So
ahead.
basically, yeah, lollipop moment is it's that moment where someone says something to you that just kind of make clicks and kind of like, you know, changes your mindset and gives you like an epiphany. And so it was this moment where I was actually driving down from Utah to Southern California. And if you know the story of Lularoe and my Aunt Deanne, she was doing a pop-up boutique with who you know or may not know as the first consultant of Lularoe, Brittany Hunter. And so I was texting my aunt. She was going through a hard time, which I'm sure you guys are all going to want to know the story as well. She was going through a hard time because she just had a breakup with her twin sister over her company. And she asked if I would come over to this house and come say hi to her. So I went over to Brittany Hunter's house, watched my aunt fling a bunch of little girls' dresses and some maxi skirts. And Michael, who was the first person who started helping my Aunt Deanne, was kind of starting the Lularoe Instagram account. And so I had a background in social media and businesses and stuff. So I ended up helping them start their Instagram. And that night we went to Applebee's, and my Aunt Deanne actually was crying and was having a hard time with this breakup with her twin sister Diane. And I said
Who
something, I don't
is
remember. I'm not who is the owner of Honey and Lace now, or Epiphany. And she's also my aunt, obviously. She's Deanne's twin sister. I know, Deanne and Diane. But anyways, I'm not saying this to tout myself, but I was a part of, you know, the infancy of Lularoe. And, you know, you can all hate me for that, but or love me for, I don't know. But I said something to her that, you know, she said was lollipop moment. And she told me this at the beach when I showed up at this convention. She said that I had told her, you know, stop worrying about what everyone else thinks about you and is saying about you. Do the best you can do. Be the best you can be. She said at that moment, you know, the next day, Brittany Hunter asked her if she would ever consignment out some dresses and allow her to sell and go and do this on her own. And that kind of spun into allowing other women to do this. And so that night, you know, I kind of was like, whoa, like I didn't realize I was a part of that. And I saw like thousands of women like running out of these buses onto this beach. And I'm standing by this stage and I was just like, what in the hell is this? Like, where is the alcohol? It's not here, I'm pretty sure. And why are these people so happy? And like, what is going on here? My friends were playing reggae music and I just was like, whoa. My Aunt Deanne was just like taking me around to everyone. And I want you guys to know that I honor that moment. I honor that moment because that was a moment where someone in my life, my Aunt Deanne, believed in me, and she walked around and she introduced me and bragged about me and said, "Hey, this is my nephew Sam, and he's a musician, and he, you know, he's a very talented entrepreneur or whatever." And so I say that because a lot of you that started in 2015, even 2016, you've felt this before and you've seen it. You've seen that culture that I saw that night. And I'm going to lead into the next part of my story. Is my Aunt Deanne hooked me up with a girl that sold Lularoe, and she lived in Utah. Her name's Madison Parkinson. And I say that because Maddie was one of the reasons I kind of like really looked into Lularoe. Like, what is this? And she actually was going to quit at the time, and she became a kindergarten teacher. And I was finally like, whoa, don't go be a kindergarten teacher. Like, there's real money in this. Like, you need to quit being a kindergarten teacher and like really do this. And I started to really learn the model of Lularoe before I even got hired, before my Aunt Deanne even like thought of me. Anyways, ends up Mark and Deanne, Justin, they flew out to Utah to take me out to dinner, and they offered me a job to be the culture and events guy. And so that was in October of 2015. And so about 2 weeks before the October leadership, you recently saw some pictures of that. You saw I was a lot thicker back then. I don't know who else was there, but that was my first event. I was so just like, I loved it, guys. It was amazing. And I really had a great time. And so that's kind of the infancy of my time at Lularoe starting 2015. There's about 2,000 consultants at that time. And 2 months later, in January, I did my first real big event, which was the January leadership where Mario Lopez and Disneyland, and we had, you know, the singers and the fireworks and all that stuff happened. And that's when the queue started. There was about 5,000 consultants at that time. So just give you a little background about me and my journey at Lularoe. A lot of people have asked that. And so that's how it started.
So, do we want to keep going and talk about why you're no longer with Lularoe, or do we want to talk about the family a little bit?
You know, maybe there's been a lot of people that have asked, you even asked me about this, like if I saw a bunch of the things that I've come out within the last year, why didn't I jump ship? No pun intended. I could have jumped off 2 cruises in February if I would have known. And, you know, to be honest, it was such a whirlwind and such a tornado. Like, you guys got to realize, like, that's when Facebook Live came out. That's when Periscope came out. That's when people started blowing up their sales. You know, going to January when the queue started. February, you know, we booked out too many cruises. So I had to, you know, be the hype guy on 2 cruises, and then we went straight to, you know, private jets, doing a 40-day tour where 500-600 people were at every city. You know, I just got thrown into this tornado of like cubies joining, and no one had any idea like what was happening. Not even Mark and Deanne, not
insane.
even anyone, or even how to keep up. It was insane. And you know, I'll continue on as we did that first training tour. You know, it was fun. It was awesome. The vibe, the culture was amazing. It was rad. It was just like, you know, it was.
That's when I first met you, and I was like, yeah, this is like legit. It was like pumping and music, and you were happy. And I love to compare, like, there's so many people in here who've never been to like a big Lularoe event, even an Inspire training. I compare them to a troll party from the movie Trolls. Like,
yeah, totally.
Like, that's a Lularoe party.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's the perfect analogy. Like, you just sitting there, you're like, this is insane. And there's people that are like, what is going on? And then there's the other ones that are like, more glitter, and it's crazy.
Yeah. And like, I think it just turned into this thing where like, I didn't care. I had really no idea what was happening. I just was like, I'm having fun. My job is to like put on these events and like have fun with these people. So let's play some really good music. They're all about my age, you know, a little bit younger, maybe a little older. So like playing 90s boy bands always works, you know what I mean? And like, we can just have fun. And like, you know, I always say like Lularoe was and could have been such a rad new lease on life for so many people. And it was, you know, for those Southern girls or wherever you were, where your husbands were deployed, you had a community, you had other women that you could be friends with. And I found so much of that first 6 months of 2016. And then you hit the convention, and convention was like a lot of hiccups because, you know, you got to think about it. They plan on 7,000 coming in. By that time, there was 50,000 consultants with about 20,000 people wanting to come. And so that was just a big mess.
It was. It was really fun, though.
Point of view.
All of the events were really
fun. Yeah. But it was a mess, and I'll be the first to acknowledge it. But by that time, you know, we had done enough tour trainings, we'd done enough dates, done enough things, you know, in the company that, you know, Deanne, and I mean, if you were at the convention, like, we couldn't walk anywhere. Everyone wanted pictures with you, and like, I couldn't plan an event, and so it was a mess. I mean, there was just lots of things. I mean, it's not just me. It was Kenny and Justin and anyone at home office. You know, it was awesome. The culture was amazing. We wanted to be a part of like helping your guys' business, helping your lives, listen to your whys, talk to you guys, hype the crowd, have fun. You know, And that convention, I remember, I don't know if you remember this, Roberta, or whoever else is on. There's lots of comments. Holy crap. But
A
anyways,
lot of people saying was the best
this is
time. They were
convention
truly happy.
2016. Yeah, they were
2016.
truly happy. I remember jumping off the stage right after Andy Grammer, and I like ran through the crowd and was just like taking pictures of people. And I said, like, you guys, is this really our life? Like, is
Yeah,
this really our life? We make
it was
money doing
insane.
what we love, staying at home. And so it was like, it was rad. It was such a really cool feeling. And it was a culture of what was set up to be. And I don't believe that Mark and Deanne or anyone over there believed it would grow this fast. And so that's where I guess we can enter into, me
The beginning
realizing
of the end.
the downfall.
The beginning
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
end.
You know,
So
yeah,
for you,
yeah,
I'll say the beginning of the end for me was almost January 2017. Like it hit 2017 and like everything
yeah,
changed. Everything
yeah,
changed.
yeah,
And that's when you started so tell us, the last thing you did was you were the Christmas party DJ, right? Was that the last thing?
yeah,
And then you went
yeah.
to
So
Germany to spend time with your family. So tell us
yeah,
about the
yeah.
party
My
and then
sister
through
lived down there.
Germany and when you got back.
Yeah, so you saw it in January. I saw it right after convention, and it took me a whole 6 months to get out. You guys got to realize, like, this is my family. I not only have sisters involved that all sell. I have hundreds of cousins that sell. I have lots of family members that are involved. Family that works there. I mean, my aunt owns the company. A lot of you I had gotten to know and love and cherish, and it wasn't a decision I could just be like, oh, I'm gonna quit, I'm out of here, like things are going not so good, like I don't align with this culture, and so I brought up a lot of my issues after convention, and the issues were things like training, things like giving the support, the systems, things like back orders. Back orders started in August right after convention. That was the really big thing that started to really make me realize that this is
These
an
are all
issue.
back
Yeah, you got
slips.
lots of them.
These are all back
Yeah,
order slips. I have a whole nother stack in the other room.
yeah,
Back
yeah.
orders.
And I have a really good friend. I won't name his name, but I have a really good friend that kind of opened my eyes and helped me step out of the tornado after convention and like be able to look at the whole scheme of things and realize that unless things change, unless there's a mindset change, this isn't gonna go pretty. And I mean, I could break
Sorry.
all those things down. You guys, we can do another question and answer, but I felt it on the second tour. When I went back on tour in August through November, there was a few times Deanne didn't go on tour. A couple of them were because we had some haters that were threatening her, some things, and the energy was so thick of fear. So much different. I had that to compare to the first tour. Even though there was triple the people and all these QBs had been onboarded, sales were down, saturation set in,
Isn't that the same
and
time that they started charging $25 to go to Inspire?
yeah, yeah, yep,
And I would be like,
yeah,
Deanne would tell me, oh, you should come. And I'm like, oh, it's sold out. And she's like, you don't need a ticket. And I'm like, oh. And then I
yeah,
remember I would always be the one that would kind of greet people and take their tickets. And I'm like, am I taking tickets? Oh, we're not taking tickets. I'm like,
yeah,
so why are we selling tickets if we're not taking tickets? Oh, well, if they're wearing Lularoe and they're
right.
here, then they must have a ticket. Okay, I'll pass it
They
on.
must. They must. Yeah, yeah. So it was very, my stipulations, and I'll go into details if people really have questions about this, but my stipulations to stay with the company was not money. I did get a raise at that time. That was the only raise I got. I didn't get paid very much. A lot of people think I got paid a lot of money. I didn't. You got to remember, 2015, Lularoe did $70 million. 2016, I was there the whole year through the QBs and through all that. They did $1.3 billion. So think about the growth there. My check went up $20,000 that year. You know what? I didn't get paid much, but I loved it so much. I loved the consultants. I loved the people that were involved. I love, still do. And that's why I'm even right here sitting in the freezing cold outside of my porch, because I feel an embarrassment. I feel a moral obligation. I feel a strong sense of I need to protect and warn. And when I say certain things, you know, today or whenever, it's a warning. Um, Someone said to me today, tell them what you want them to hear. And I had to correct her, and I said, you know, I'm going to tell them what they need to hear, because I don't want to tell you guys what you want to hear. I want to tell you what you need to hear. And some of those things are very important. And this isn't to take down Lularoe. I understand. My family still works there. I have people that work at corporate. I have family that sells. There's lots of my friends that still are thick in it. You know, I'm not here to take down Lularoe, but I'm here to set a standard and
Transparency.
to
That's what I
transparency
mean,
and open your guys'
people
eyes
reach out
up.
to me and say, are you trying to take down Lularoe? Like, why are you trying to ruin my business? Why are you trying to, you know, I thought we were friends. And to me, it's the same exact. If Lularoe goes down or if Lularoe has transparency, both of those results are the same because the truth comes out. I don't care. I don't care
Yeah,
about anything but the truth. And I think that these women who have invested so much time and energy, emotion, physical, like everything, I've heard stories of sickness, like just so much stress, sickness. It's just insane. And I just don't think people
yeah,
understand how it all kind of became and how it just,
yeah,
they say, like, I don't know. I honestly say 2017 hit and things were just different. I don't understand how I can like explain it. Policies were changing. All of a sudden there was this influx of people. There was all these damages that are all of a sudden happening all the time. And there was no answer. The tax issue started happening and it was literally like, what do we say? And they're
yeah.
like, you just say
Well,
this.
so
And it was all wrong.
it start yeah, it started catching up with it themselves. So them never owning businesses before. I mean, Mark was a concrete
No,
guy.
no,
Deanne had owned some nail salons.
no.
They were the typical family member that were always part of MLMs. Um, you know, I was kind of the first outside of the immediate family that joined. That's why a lot of the cousins joined after. You know, that's why none of our family members are at the top,
Right.
because no one really like thought this was a viable business and this was going to last, until, you know, the culture really, you know, the events started really popping. And so you saw it in January, but I saw it in August. I
And
saw
it took
all
me
these
about
things like the tax
7
issues and the
months to
back
figure it
orders.
out too.
Yeah. Yeah, because it caught up with itself. Press started coming out, you know, predicting policies being changed, predicting compensation plans being changed. I saw it all before. And me coming out with that before, I couldn't come out public with it because, you know, of how everything went down with me. You know, I was really trying to protect my name and really trying to protect who I am and my family. I have 2 little girls. I'm a single dad. I also have a, you know, a reputation, and I wanted to protect, you know, I wanted to protect you guys as well. You know, for me to come out and blast, you know, first of all, when I first came out 6 months after January, I quit. You know, so many people didn't believe what I was saying. I got a lot of haters, but I knew what the truth was. And now here we are a year later, and there's still haters. There's still people that don't believe. They have IVs in their veins, drinking Kool-Aid, and they still don't believe. So it did catch up, and that's the thing, is that they I say the number one issue that happened is they didn't bring in professionals, and they didn't bring in professional CEOs, professional PR people, and I can speak for myself. You know, I wasn't the guy to do the events. You know, at that scale, we brought in outside events people. You know, I mean, I was probably the guy to be on the mic, MC, have fun with the crowd. That's basically all I was good at. You know, I'm an entertainer. I'm a guy that likes to be on the stage. I see a lot of questions about drugs. Yeah, you guys, drugs,
Yeah,
opiates have always been an issue in my family.
that's
You know,
that's what I
I'm
was
a
gonna go
recovering
next
addict.
is the drugs and the
Yeah,
drinking. Because coffee
yeah, I'm
is
a
not
recovering
okay,
addict.
soda is not okay,
Yeah,
tea is not
yeah,
okay, marijuana is not okay.
yeah,
All legal substances in
yeah,
most states.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and but illegal opiates are okay, and passing them out backstage
Yeah.
is okay.
Illegal from different countries is totally okay. Yeah. So like I'm a recovering, I used to use opiates, and so I know what people's eyes look like. I know how they act when they're on it. So it's one of those things where it was always there. So, hopefully it was just a use, and I was okay with using it, prescription, but really, really big, strong, no alcohol, really, big, strong, no coffee at events. But it was, it was okay to use Guatemalan and Mexican Xanax and Norcos and Percocets to get you through that day, because,
And
that was normal
I remember
to them.
October leadership. There was a Starbucks in the lobby, and the line was like out the building. And I just remember like Deanne was so angry. And the next day she was like, I got you all coffee in here so you don't miss what I'm saying. It's so important. And I was just like, what?
Yeah.
What? It was just.
Yeah, and she called people out as they walked in late.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Like,
and you don't see it then.
Like,
because when you're in, you're like, haha, you're getting in trouble and not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how it is. It's just the
Yeah,
weirdest thing. And like my husband is like, how could you have been? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
I'm just scrolling through all of this stuff. Oh my gosh, you guys. Hello. Hi, everyone. Roberta. Yeah, Roberta's awesome. Roberta Show. Tune in weekly. I love it. Let me just see. Oh, hey, big shout out to Nikki Lepley. She just had her gallbladder taken out, and she was like, I can't wait to like take my mind off of that and watch you live tonight.
I have a lot
big
of Mormon friends that drink Mountain Dew and Coke and coffee and all of that too.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm not making a blanket statement because they're Mormon. I'm just saying this was sort of how it was. It was like, don't do that. Don't, you have water for this. Don't do that. Don't drink coffee. Don't get in line. Don't do this. No drinks. But we would still go to Starbucks and get, refreshers, drink it down and top it off with vodka and be like, now we're going to the party. I mean,
yeah.
Whatever.
No one's perfect. I mean,
yes, Mormons do drink soda.
Mormon,
I know a lot of Mormons
that
drink soda.
I know a lot of Mormons that drink alcohol. I know a lot of Mormons that don't do what the commandments in their church say. But it's not about Mormons.
Yeah, it's not about
if
Mormons.
This is if they want to preach Mormonism, that's their deal. I don't believe that that's the way to do it, but it is very parallel after the Mormon Church, and I can go into that. But there's not a lot of time for
So there's a question that keeps popping up, and it was a question that I saw, and it's a question that I had too. And so I wanted to ask you because I know a lot of people are asking, what happened to Elijah?
Elijah, we love Elijah. Elijah just wasn't a good fit for our band. I mean, he's not a musician, and so we went on tour for a long time.
But what happened with him in Lularoe? Why did he leave Lularoe?
Lularoe. Oh yeah. Oh, he hated it there. He got treated like so bad by Justin. Justin treated him like the
token,
typical
like the token cool
black guy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, absolutely.
100%. I've seen that with so many people,
100%.
People of color, minorities that are any sort of top seller or coach, trainer, anything like that. Deanne and Mark always will go straight to them and be like, oh! And we want to speak up. We need you to speak. We need you to tell your story. And I was always just like, what? Why? Like, why are you picking this person specifically? Not that I don't think that they're fit for it, but it always felt like there was this sort of like I don't know the right word like to use, but it just felt weird. Like they were exploiting them, I guess is a good word.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Elijah, the story of Elijah is I met him on the cruise. He was on the cruise with his family. He was on the beach. I was playing music with my boombox, and we just started dancing and having fun together. And I brought him into a training to the second cruise because it was like really new people that didn't know each other. And after that, I brought him to May Leadership. He did a Michael Jackson thing, and then we hired him on. He moved out. He lived in our house with us. We had a little bachelor pad going on there, and we just had a lot of fun. But before the events and in between the events, like he had a job, but like he definitely got mistreated. He'll be the first to say that regarding Justin. I don't know anyone
I was
else. I
supposed
just
to
know
teach him how to tap dance, and then the next event he was gone, and I was like, we had plans to
yeah.
tap dance.
Hey, when I quit in December, we were supposed to go on the cruise and we were supposed to go to January leadership, but it didn't happen. So,
I have
oh
another
well.
question that
We love life.
why did they stop sending trainers to leadership in January of 2017 and then bring them back again in
Um,
October? Do you know any
it
of
just
that?
got too full.
Just it was too many people?
You mean January 2017?
Yeah. Did you know that or
They brought
no?
him back. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it just got too full, and then a bunch of people started quitting. So then they wanted people to come back.
I always thought it was the most
Oh, if
ridiculous
you want to
thing
know
because
fun,
trainers would need that the most because they're the newest leaders. So to me, I was,
yeah, are they really training? Are they really
I
training?
know I
Or
did.
are they
I don't
just
know if
fluffing?
anybody else did. I mean, I treated
No,
my
did you
girls.
did you really get training there?
Did I get
Did
training
you
there?
really like?
I got conditioning
Did you
there.
did you? Yeah,
I
did you
got
go home feeling
grooming
like, oh,
there and
I just got
conditioning
so
there.
much
I don't know if I got any
training.
training, but I definitely was groomed
Here's a
and
fun
conditioned.
fact. Fun fact. Disney. I always knew about it a year before. Disney was they
Oh
made
yeah.
money off you guys going to Disneyland, by the way. They charge you $75 to come here and fly, spend all this money on hotels and flights and $75 to get in. And they were allowed to have 10,000 people. So do your math, 750 grand. I actually signed the contract on that, and they made a lot of money off you guys. So there's one kind of tidbit of where I don't align. And when I got my cease and desist, and whenever Mark and Deanne talks to my mom or anyone else and says, their main answer is Sam just didn't align with the culture. And I just want to tell you, I didn't align with the culture at that time anymore, because the culture that had
Toxic.
taken over was greed, toxic, and money. And money changed. When there started becoming, once we hit 600 million, I'm going to buy all my sons $100,000 car. And my check never changed. And I never got incentives like that. And so when I started seeing that, I was like, hey, this is not about the people. This isn't about the consultant anymore. This is about the jets, about the Wyoming ranches, about the cars, about,
All the
when we're supposed to be
LLCs that
going on
everything is
tour.
stored in.
Yeah. There's lots of scandals, lots of
There are a lot
hidden
of
money and
scandals. So
yeah.
the newest, I mean, not the newest, but the newest, I don't know, there's two pretty good big scandals right now. We're going to talk about the clothes being left outside. Woo, because I feel like that's, we're, a lot of people right now are only just seeing like the tip of that iceberg. Um, and I want to know what you think about that. I know you were there, you saw it. I saw it. I saw it when it was actually in the semis when I went on the office tour or the home office
Yeah.
tour for convention. And I saw semis
Yeah.
and my initial thought was, cool, new inventory. Like what's in there? Like trying to see. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
is there
Yeah.
inventory outside? There was never,
Right. Right.
they never lied to you. So you never
Yeah.
weren't going to trust them. And they always
Yeah.
like, trust us. And we're like, okay, why wouldn't we trust you?
Yeah.
The leader is great. The leader is good. Like, and it was just like
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. No, that happened. I mean, I was planning May leadership, and the parking lot was, I mean, we knew it was full of inventory. There was one time where Aaron in my band went out, like it was a cool thing, like, oh my gosh, like Lularoe's growing so fast, like look at all this inventory, they can't even fit it in their warehouse. And they said there's like 8 million pieces that arrived, and projections to be able to fulfill orders. And there was like all this inventory outside under the rain, no tents. I actually brought tents in for our event because of the sun and because of possible rain.
And for people
But I
who
actually had to.
aren't familiar with California weather, we're a desert and we're on the coast and it
Yeah,
gets very cold at night and in the morning. A lot of condensation, a lot of dew. But most of that moisture burns off by 9, 10 o'clock in the morning and then it's hot. So these
yeah,
bags would get condensation and moisture overnight in their tarps and in their bags and then would
yeah,
evaporate during the
yeah,
day and soak back
yeah,
in and evaporate and soak back in. And then so mildew started forming. I mean, if I don't know if you guys saw my videos,
yeah,
I posted them yesterday. 3 different videos with mildew, bugs, and that stinky leggings where I was gagging through the whole thing.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
reality. I mean, those came all the time.
yeah. I mean, and it was a known thing that, you know, that there was that, you know, they knew all of that stuff was happening, and they still sent it out. You know what I mean? And the ironic thing is they changed a lot of the policy because they said there was rat poo and, you know, cigarette smoke and mildewy smelling clothes coming back. But the ironic thing is they actually sent it out that way. And that's an opinion, that's a belief. But I saw, you know, millions of pieces of items outside, you know, for months. And John West over there basically said if OSHA came over here, they would close us down. And when Aaron filmed it on Periscope, I got a call from Justin within minutes just to say he's got to erase that. We could get so busted. And I had to have them, you know, they picked up all that inventory and put it in semis and parked the semis down the street for a few days until oh dang it, is my phone dying? Anyways, until leadership was over. So yeah, I mean it's a known thing. And then so, you know, come January, February, when Holes in Leggings came out, I knew exactly why. And I mean, whatever they told you was a lie. It's not because of new material. It's not because of you know, sewing machines. It's because sun bleach. You know, we all know when things get, you know, fabrics can get thin when it gets sun bleached.
And we get
Mildew,
100-degree temperatures. I mean, it's the middle of December. The
yeah.
East Coast is under snow. It was 85 degrees today.
Yeah, and you got to think about this. This was March to September, so this was the hottest months of the year. So I mean that was a huge issue, and I didn't even see it at that time. It wasn't until September where I was like, these clothes are going to be tattered. They're going to be nasty. I hope they're not sending these people to go sell them. You know what I mean? And so, you know, once again, it's a very sensitive subject for me because I love you guys, but I also love my family. And I was told by my Aunt Deanne, like, it's not time for me to leave. Like, I have, you know, loved ones that have passed on that are, you know, want me to still be here. I mean, it's crazy like that in my family. There's spirits on the other side that talk to people, and cultish, I know, but that's the truth. And if anyone, Christy, are you on? Christy, my cousin?
Yeah, is your cousin on?
Benton.
You're apparently
she can attest to that
Did you
one.
see that thread? Some crazy, like some lady was like, "You're
She
Christy,"
can attest to that
like,
one. Yeah.
I am not. I don't even know her. Like, some lady was accusing me. So since you mentioned, and we'll bring this back around, since you mentioned that when the holes and the damages started coming in, that you knew what had happened because you had seen it before. What about all these other rumors of things that you kind of like knew were happening, family members? And the other thing is, when Lularoe, when the boxes are coming in and Lularoe's like, you're sending us rat poop and you're sending us smoky stuff and you're sending us wet leggings.
Yeah.
I feel like every single time that Lularoe accuses the consultants of doing anything, that they've already done it themselves and are just projecting it. Like this whole gaslighting, like narcissistic projection. So we already know that the nasty leggings is a projection because they sent those to us. So what are some other things that they're very like, no, besides the drugs and the leggings, that they're like, no, that's not very, very good. We don't do that. Affairs. There's lots of affairs.
My whole story is a projection of that. You know, I quit Lularoe, and I had a conversation with my dad because, truth be known, I might be beat up on my dad after this, but you know, Mark and Deanne embezzled money from my dad, and my dad forgave them. And you know, my dad, I confided in him before I got hired, and he said, don't do it. And I confided in him when I was leaving, and he said, you got to know that Deanne's not going to take you down lightly. So if you leave, you know, you better leave quietly. And that's why I had a whole plan to go on tour. That's why I couldn't just peace out and leave you guys. You know what I mean? I had a whole strategy and specific thing. And I believe the reason why I got a cease and desist is a projection of their own skeletons. And I'll go into that. You know, the rumors of me and why I left or got kicked out or excommunicated was because I was sleeping with consultants and because I was a man whore or having orgies or, you know, having fun parties on tour. Look, first of all, I'm single. Okay. Second of all, like, I wish I knew that those rumors were going to come out, because that would have been real fun, right? You know, having parties on tour. That didn't happen. Okay. And, you know, married women, you know, you guys, Deanne hooked me up with a girl before I started Lularoe. Her name's Madison. You can talk to her husband, Casey, her ex-husband, Casey. But Deanne hooked me up 2 weeks after she separated with Casey. I had no idea until I broke up with her 6 months later that she had only been separated 2 weeks. And quote Deanne, you know, she said that my next wife was gonna be at Lularoe. And I will throw this out there as well. I did have a girlfriend that was a consultant for quite a bit of time. So to even say all those things is funny. But I will say the projection of their own skeletons. A lot of people have asked this, and I'm going to be honest. And I'm saying this because I've gone a year now with my Aunt Deanne and Mark dragging my name through the mud and saying such slanderous bullshit about me after all I did for them, and after like 80 dates. And you guys, if you saw me throughout that whole year, I was the first one there and I was the last one to leave. You know what I mean? And after all of that, they choose to not only tell my mom that I raped a girl, which we know that that's not true, and I know who started that rumor, you know, also the rumors of all those things. The truth is that Deanne and Mark met at a direct sales company and held a 5-year affair with each other, broke up 2 of their families, okay? And not only that, Deanne gave Mark an ultimatum that it's either her or his kids. And you can ask his 3 daughters. He has 3 daughters that are your guys' age that don't even speak to him. So think about that. 3 daughters that he abandoned at a young child, as young children, that he doesn't even speak of. And so when I say they were projecting
And then
their
he
own
totes about
issues
how he's got
onto me,
14 kids.
yeah, no,
They're all about family,
he
but
does,
they
but
have so many people that they've excommunicated from it because they don't
yeah,
fit with their culty values.
yeah, yeah. So dragging people's name through the mud, you know, I'm just being honest. I'm just telling you the truth. That's the truth. And if Daniela's on, she can tell the truth. If any of my family's on right now, or if Christy's on, y'all know how she got caught. Amelia caught her. So we all know when that shit hit the fan. It was like 1994, and I was like 12 years old. All of a sudden, you know, this douchebag Mark came into everyone's life, and our Uncle Ken got kicked out of the family. Kenny's dad. You know, we love Uncle Ken. And so, you know, I'm throwing that out there because their whole mission statement, this is who you're trusting. You're trusting a man that his own daughters don't even trust, that abandoned his own daughters at a young age. And you're trusting him with your life and with your money. And even to this day, his daughters have friends that have sold or still do sell Lularoe, and they still
There's Christy. She says
don't
it's
talk
true.
to him. Christy, it's true. So there you go. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Well, I would not lie about that, because damn, I could get a massive lawsuit for that.
So let's talk
I don't care.
about Nicole and Jeff. Let's talk about Nicole and Jeff. The last time I saw Jeff was, again, October Leadership. And I was introducing him to my husband because we had this kind of ongoing conversation for months about my husband really not being on board and like what's a good way. And he's kind of a motivational speaker, and he would always talk to me and ask me, oh, hey, like, how's it going? And I just thought Jeff and Nicole were just such awesome people. And I ran into Jeff and I was like, oh, my husband's here and I want to talk to you. And he kind of just looked at me. He goes, you know, I'm not with Lularoe anymore, don't you? And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. He's like, that's another story for another day. And that was literally the last time I ever saw Jeff.
Jeff and Nicole, you had to bring it up. I love Jeff. Jeff's one of my greatest homies. To this day, I talk to him. You know, Jeff and I have a lot
Nicole
of
is Deanne's youngest daughter, and Jeff is her husband, and they own Smile.
So Nicole is Deanne's youngest biological daughter. So
Right, that's
Daniela
right. Danielle is the youngest daughter.
is the
Right.
youngest daughter. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're right. People always ask, so yeah, just to clarify that. And if you have any questions, I can answer family member questions. But
We'll have
I don't know if
Sam make
people
a
are getting
family
bored.
tree.
It seems like a lot of people are commenting, a lot of people still on. So I'll keep going. But Jeff, I'll tell the quick story because I love Nicole and Jeff so much. I want them to be able to tell it in their own due time. But I'll tell you what I saw. Okay, I saw family members get jealous of an idea that Nicole had. Even before I believe Lularoe came out, she had an idea of making little girls' dresses. When Lularoe started picking up, Nicole, they merged. Smile remained, had their brand. If any of you sold it, the brand was there until, I was there. Jeff was in the accounting department. He worked in and out for a long time. And one day, Jeff hit me up and he was like, I'm quitting Lularoe. And I was like, why? And he's like, because they, pulled our contract. Basically, what the truth of it is that, from what I hear and what I saw is that family members got jealous because when Lularoe started blowing up and Patrick and everyone was doing projections on how many little girls' dresses they needed to make that year, it was in the millions. And I believe, I mean, don't quote me, but I think they were getting $1 or $2 per dress as part of their collaboration and having the Smile brand. And so that would mean Nicole and Jeff would make $1-2 million that year. And, I even went to Nicole and Jeff's new house. They were, banking off of this collaboration continuing because it's a mom and dad.
Yeah, it's her
saying
mom
to a
and
daughter,
dad.
I love it. Yeah.
It's a mom and dad. It's
and so,
her mom and dad.
Yeah, her mom and dad. And so,
Nice.
and they actually had to pull out of that house and because the contract got pulled. And, I'm going to leave it at that. I love Jeff and Nicole.
They got
Sorry,
done
Jeff
dirty.
and Nicole. Yeah, they got done dirty. And a lot of people speculated that. But Jeff and Nicole, I apologize if you didn't want me to share that. But, I just want you to know I'm all about truth. That's what I saw. But I think the biggest and dirtiest thing that happened was not too long after that at convention, I don't know what the dresses are called, the May and some other the little girl dresses got launched at convention, and Jeff and Nicole didn't know that that the three granddaughters, Monroe, Lucy, and Lola, were going to be put in these dresses and touted on the stage to basically show off these new dresses that were being launched by Lularoe. And it was just a slap in the face. I remember, gosh, I've Nicole's crowd on my shoulder. It's whack,
like,
you guys.
So sweet. It's just so nice.
So
sweet.
So let me just this is a warning. Let me break this down for you guys really quick, okay? No one's surprised that Deanne and Mark cut me out. Not my dad either. And it started with her husband, okay? Then it started with his kids, right? And then it continued on with lots of other family members that you guys don't know, won't care about. And then it went to my Aunt Diane, and we can talk about that if you'd like. And then it went to Nicole, and then it went to Nicole and Jeff, and then it went to me, and there's gonna be more. I already know that. I mean, it's the reality of what happens. And when you're a narcissist, and when all you care about is the money and the cars and all these other things, it becomes very toxic. And like I said, like I don't know what I would do if I had that much money, but nothing changed in my world. So I knew all I could be is authentic to myself and stand in my own light. I know that I went out into the field and I inspired and I piped a dream that when I realized the dream was unachievable, I had to quit and I had to kind of figure out how I was going to let people know. And I will say this, I don't know if you guys believe in dreams, but I had a dream one time. And that's when I actually, end of June, came out with my story. It was literally from Cancun to Atlanta in our layover. I was with Aaron in my band, and I had a dream that I was going to, at one time, have to protect thousands of women from getting taken advantage of. There's no, with this NDSS thing and a lot of the other things that have come out. I mean, moldy clothes and taxes and holes in leggings and policy changes. I mean, you guys, when are we going to stand up for these women? You know what I mean? Like the women's rights. And when is this really gonna take place?
The
I
Lularoe
have people.
suffragettes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a true thing. Lularoe recovery. I mean, this is real and this is a serious matter. And you look at Mark and Deanne on that webinar, they don't give two shits
No.
about cutting ties with National Down Syndrome Association.
Society.
National Society. Sorry. But saying it's narrow-minded and saying that we're about abundance and about everyone and we're not just narrow, like, no, we're talking about humanity here. We're talking about everyone, whether you have disabilities or not. You know what I mean? And so that's where, when I started seeing that mindset and that kind of projection of impact of like, I'm the prophet and you listen to what I say and don't fuck with me and all these other things. Like when I started seeing that, I was like, dude, I ain't gonna be a part of this, because if I support this and if I'm about this, then I'm gonna allow thousands of other people get taken advantage just like that. And so that's when I wrote my story, and I opened myself up to lawsuits. I opened myself up to saying the wrong things. I opened myself up to getting absolutely cut out of my family. I mean, you guys have no idea. Like everyone's cut me out except for the ones that are quitting. You know, Christy's always been cool. Christy, my cousin Benton, and of course Daniela, and you know, I have some other cousins. But yeah, so I mean, when you think I'm promoting my band,
Do
you know,
you
it's all good. I'm good at that. But it's about
do
you
you
guys.
have any inside knowledge about the overseas trips, and do you think maybe perhaps they are stashing assets there, or is it just a
You know, my
coincidence they
gut.
went fishing in
I don't have any knowledge, but no, they didn't go fishing in Russia. Come on, you guys. Just listen to your gut. Just listen to your gut. Your gut. And I'm going to say this strongly. Listen to your gut with everything. If your gut tells you they're going to Russia to fish,
They're gonna go water
okay,
skiing
they
in
went to
North
Russia
Korea
to fish.
next.
Yeah. And, you know, if your gut says, you know, holes in leggings is, you know, I'm sick because of these moldy clothes or these mildew clothes, or your gut's saying like I shouldn't be a part of this anymore, get out. Listen to
So
your gut.
people are
If your gut
asking
says you need to stay, stay.
people are
Yeah.
asking about the liens, $700,000, or I don't know how much. Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't know. I mean, I heard some like 700 grand in liens. I don't know if it's current liens or prior liens. I mean, I know Mark ran a big concrete company. You know, I know about bankruptcies prior. I mean, so
What
many
about
people have held Mark
Patrick?
and Deanne for years.
Like, how legit is Patrick?
He's not legit.
What's he
He's
done?
cool.
I know he went to FITM in LA, supposedly.
He's nice. I actually really liked Patrick. He's
So
always really
Patrick
cool to me.
is Justin's friend, right?
He's Justin's friend.
And Justin
And I
is
will say
Amelia's
this.
husband. And Amelia
Amelia's
is the
husband.
oldest biological daughter. Oldest daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Most people Justin brings to the table aren't legit.
Like Oliver. That brings us
Justin,
to Oliver. Where's he? Is he still around?
like himself. Justin acts like he created Yo Gabba Gabba. He got fired after the first season. My brother co-created Yo Gabba Gabba. I know the whole story. So when Justin touts Yo Gabba Gabba,
His
he
Elijah
produced
Wood
one
story.
of the 5 seasons. His Elijah Wood story, all that stuff, you know. It's fine. He did his job the first season, but you know, my brother fired him. You know, unfortunately, he still claims that as his, and unfortunately, Yo Gabba has to be pulled into the Lularoe world, you know, now, which just doesn't seem like
Not fair.
yeah,
Guilty by
it's not fair. It's
association,
not
and
very,
like this weird, like, oh, it's also yoga, and it's no.
yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and
Patrick's not legit. So what has Patrick done? I know he had a bicycle company that had a really horrible misspelling and a really bad backstory for the name.
Yeah, I mean, you know more about Patrick than I do.
Oh yeah?
Because
I only
you've
know
actually
what these
researched him.
wonderful defective detectives find, because every day I'm like, what?
Yeah. So you know what's out there. So what's not out there and what's on Lularoe's website isn't real.
No anthropology.
Fair to say?
No Kim Kardashian
No.
dress.
I mean, I
guess I could make a dress and send it to Kim Kardashian and tell everyone I made her a dress. I made her a wedding cake and I sent it to her. I don't know if she ate it or if she liked it, but I made it for her.
I mean, who cares? He's making Lularoe. Look at Lularoe. You know what I mean? Like, who cares if he's legit or not, if he has a resume or not? He's making Lularoe, which, you know, we all know isn't the cutest clothes ever. You know, it was never about the clothes, guys.
What about Justin getting fired back in 2015 when he got shipped away to Hawaii? You know about that,
Roberta. You are gonna get me in trouble.
This is me.
Holy shit. Justin got fired, and he went to go have a come to Jesus with himself.
I'm like, oh really? Tell me more.
Figure himself out. The BU campaign of Justin Lyon, and I got a call from Mark asking me to take over his 6 departments. Yes, Justin's over 6 departments, so basically he runs the whole company. Yeah, he got fired because he was embezzling money from supply. He also was having inappropriate relations with his assistant, Kylie. That's what everyone knew and told, and he forced Kylie out, who's unfortunately, like, sucks, but, you know, if any of you were there during that time, like, she all of a sudden disappeared. And I remember that happened.
It was never about the clothes. It literally was selling a dream. Yeah. It was selling a dream of, and I feel like they knew exactly what they were doing, selling this sisterhood, selling this amazing culture to be a part of. And that's why it grew so fast, because they had wonderful people like you. They had wonderful people like Courtney who were like, yes, this is a wonderful culture. Like, come in, be a part of it. There's a reason there were people that were hitting trainer and coach so fast. There's all these people coming in. The problem is the culture. There was nothing beneath the soil. There was no root system to hold anything together. Yeah. And that soil washed away, and all left is rumors. Yeah. And just horrible things. And I knew when I was going to leave, when I started seeing these things and reading these blogs and seeing these articles and talking to people who had left and going, what? And seeing all these things, I knew I couldn't look myself in the mirror anymore. I said, I have to leave too. And again, this cult that we're in, I was brought into the cult. It was like I was handpicked. Oh, you're fun and nice. You're on my team, and you're going to get me a bunch of people. And everybody grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. And then when I left, it started to crumble, and I started getting attacked and harassed by people who I thought were my friends. And I'm just like, you know, and I would 100% accept them back into my life if they wanted to be part of my life. Yeah. But I don't exist anymore. Yeah. And when I talked to some girls on my team, I talked to some girls on my team. They came over to shop some of my stuff that I still have. And they were like, yeah, the upline told us to ignore everything you say because you don't know what you're talking about. And that she ignores you because you're just so negative. And I'm like, I'm not negative. The truth is not negative. The truth will set us free. And, you know, someone did say, like, do you feel like you're wasting your time? Sometimes, yeah, I do. I think we all kind of feel like, are we wasting our time? Is this ever going to become anything? But I need to try. I think Sam needs to try. I think all of us that saw things feel the need to say, look, we didn't know what was going on. And now that we're out and we do see what's going on, we want to warn you and we want to protect you and we want to just educate you. I've never told anyone you should leave this company. I've always said when they come to me, what do you think I should do? Stay or go, but be educated about it. Look up Lularoe scam, ask questions, figure it out. And if you ask up and they tell you to be quiet because you're being negative, how is asking a question negative? If your company, I mean, this is like a Leah Remini thing, but if your company is so wonderful and does so many great things for so many people, then we should be able to ask you a couple questions and you should be able to stand up and answer them instead of just deleting them all off the Facebook page and saying, oh, that didn't happen. There's too many people that take receipts for them to delete anything anymore. Maybe they figured that out by now.
It starts at the top, Roberta. You know what I mean? Like it's a culture. It became a culture of fear. You know what I mean? It became like, shut up and go do your job. You know what I mean?
Right.
I love what you just said. Amen to you for sure.
And yes,
people were asking,
like Kristen says, speaking out and standing up and speaking out gives other people the strength to come forward and speak out. I can't even tell you how many people I'm sure message you daily, message me daily, message Courtney, message all of us and say, thank you for speaking out. Thank you for giving me the truth I've been looking for. Thank you for confirming the rumors and confirming the things that I've been seeing. I mean, Courtney, we'll do one of these with Courtney too. Courtney has the most incredible stories that will make all of you guys go, I knew it. Every single one of you. I mean, former retailers at least.
Yeah.
I don't know how
someone wants me to address
it was hidden from us for so long.
Well, it wasn't hidden, but yeah, I mean, it was hidden. You look at it, I mean, hour waits on the phones, you know, no one responding to your emails, that's where they hide it. The only way it's been exposed is by people that are willing to talk, that know, like me. And guess what? And like you, and like people that have seen the inside. And I will tell you right now, every mentor knows. They know they have golden handcuffs. They're there for one thing, it's the money. And it's unfortunate that they are there for the money. And I'll also say something to what you just said, Roberta, is I have to take the approach, forgive them for they know not what they do. I mean, you were deep in it, we were deep in it. And it's embarrassing.
My husband even got deep in it.
Took on these people. Yeah, I mean,
my husband is like the anti-Lularoe. He's like, don't even talk to me. And he was deep in it. He bought into it. He met Deanne and he was like, oh my God, the CEO just spent like 15 minutes talking to me. Who am I? This is amazing. I'm like, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things. But, you know, when it starts with, you know, a culture or a vibe of we want to make money, but we're going to tell everyone we want to strengthen your family and bless lives, and then we retract blessing lives. You got to forgive all those people that have defriended you, because, you know, my family, one by one, they're coming back because, you know, they all know. They just don't know what to say. I mean, I've had so many people quit and then come back and they're like, look, I just didn't know what to say. I love you. And I always have loved you, but like I just didn't know what to do or say. I was scared. I was fearful of getting terminated. I was fearful of like my thing. So there's a couple questions on here.
Yeah, they keep talking about Julia. I don't know anything about Julia.
Someone brought up Julia. No, Julia went on a tour. She actually went on a rad tour. We were going to team up and go on tour. I got my cease and desist, so I didn't go. She ended up going. Julia is my cousin, my first cousin. She's named after the Julia.
Clean up aisle 4.
Her mom is Lynn.
Heather.
What's that?
Heather, clean up aisle 4.
Yeah. Julia is
Thank you.
is the daughter of Lene, who takes my aunt, who takes everyone to Mexico, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But
we'll get into that.
Justin, I am gonna say this. Justin did have an affair, and I will say this. He got excommunicated from the Mormon Church for it, and I'm gonna go on in public and say that, and because I know Justin has talked mad shit on me for the last year. And Justin, this is me talking to you, like you can go fuck yourself, because I hate you so much. I don't hate you. You are the worst human alive, and you were my boss, and I just can't stand you. And I went and told Deanne all about it, and you've heard it. And so I despise everything about you, and you have said so many harsh, massive, illegal things about me. You broke into my Instagram and you screenshotted stuff, and so yes, he had an affair and he got excommunicated, and it's so sad
with
that Amelia had to go through that. I mean, I mean, who knows? Who even knows nowadays? You know what I mean? Like,
so Julia is the daughter of Lene, who is the sister of
Yeah,
Deanne,
Julia's rad.
who
Yeah,
does
I
Lene
love
live in
Julia.
Tijuana,
Julia's,
or does she live like in
yeah,
Imperial Beach and
yeah.
just drive over? So she lives in
No, I
TJ.
heard she lives in Tijuana. Yeah. And she goes to all the events, and so disclaimer, you guys, after the surgery, if you see pictures of me from convention, or if you remember me, like I was about 80, 90 pounds bigger. I've lost a lot of weight. I got the surgery in Mexico. In Mexico, I mean, I'm not sticking up for it, but it's actually really clean. It was a good doctor. He's young. It was a very nice place. I mean, but so I have nothing to hate on that. It's where my aunt goes to my other aunt's company and hustles women that don't even need surgery. First of all, I don't think anyone needs it. And then they go to their cruise room and cry, or they go home and cry themselves to sleep because Deanne's sister just asked if they'd be interested in getting the stomach surgery so they can lose weight and feel prettier. That's where I have a problem with it. I got the surgery right after convention because someone dropped out. My aunt Deanne offered to pay for it. It was a quick thing. I was like, sure, I'm gonna go do it, whatever. So like I don't regret it, but I also don't think, I think you guys don't need to feel pressured into getting surgery. Like, you're beautiful the way you are, and I didn't have any insecurities about the way I looked or felt. It was really more about, I wanted more energy. I wanted to be able to, lose some weight so I can just, maybe start over a little bit. And that was just my why and my reason. But like,
And that's fine. I mean, you can have a
you
reason
can
to
lose the
have
weight.
weight loss surgery. I mean, your Aunt Deanne offered you this surgery, probably to also hold it over your head for
Yeah.
other things, but at the same time to be nice
Yeah.
and wonderful.
Definitely. Like when I quit, it was like, oh my gosh, I sent you to Disneyland, and I sent you
Feel
to
pretty.
Hawaii and bought your surgery and all this other. Oh yeah, well, I helped take your business from 70 million to 1.3 billion. What do you have to say about that? Yes, Justin got fired. I'm gonna say November of 2015. It was right after I got hired. So I was kind of like a fish out of water, and all of a sudden, like, he took off for 2 weeks to Hawaii, and like they brought him back on, and that was that. And then all of a sudden Kylie got fired and took off to Seattle, and sorry, Kylie. I
Yeah,
mean,
my
that's
surgery
just
wasn't
what
offered
everyone.
to be free, but I was approached. I had a lot of friends who got it, and I didn't know that's what they were doing. And I on the cruise, I approached one of them, and I was like, "You look so amazing. What have you been doing?" Her and her husband both got it. I don't know if they got it in Mexico, but I was like, "You look so amazing. Like, I'm so proud of you. You guys look fantastic. What are you doing?" And she was like, "Oh, I got the sleeve surgery. It's so amazing." And then she's like, "Hold on," and she pulled over another mentor or a mentor, and she says, "Oh, tell Roberta about the surgery. Like, you got it too. It's so amazing." And I was like, "Okay." And then they're like, "Oh, if you want the name, like, just let me know. Send me a message on Facebook, like, if you want it." And I'm just like, "Okay, good to know. Thank you." And I just kind of like slunk away. I was like, that was super awkward.
Yeah, I mean, I was used as a testimonial. I mean, I mean, I got it, and I got sent a bunch of people that were like, tell me about it. Is it clean?
So
Like, do they speak
is it
English? Like,
$5,000 that the consultants PayPal to Lene, and then Lene gets
yeah,
$1,000
or wire it, give it to her cash, whatever, and then it's $4,000 to get it,
and
so
so
she
she
makes
gets a
$1,000
$1,000
off.
kickback. But I also heard
Yeah.
that if and I don't know if this is true, but you can probably confirm. If consultants refer someone, do they also get like a commission bonus, or is that not a thing?
I haven't heard about that. But, I mean, man, I wouldn't
I
be
hear things and I'm
surprised if
like, I'm
there
not
was
sure if
like,
that's true. I've never heard it,
I mean,
but enough people
I wouldn't
say
be
it, and I'm like,
surprised
I
if there
don't
was
know.
like
I wouldn't put it past
a
them.
weight loss a weight loss MLM, like, you refer 5 people to get the
You just
surgery,
refer five
and
people, and they refer
we
five
will
people, and
cut
then you
you
move up to
in.
doctor.
Yes, and then we'll help you buy a new pink Cadillac
In
that you
freaking
can.
sane. And the great thing about this is, like, you and I are sitting here speaking the truth about things that we saw, things we experienced, very similar stories, similar timelines. And there are still people that are going to say Roberta and Sam are liars, unfriend them. Roberta and Sam are liars. They couldn't hack it with their
Please
business. They weren't
unfriend me,
successful.
dude.
They weren't,
Unfriend me.
they
I
couldn't
have
make it
real friends that
work.
want to be my friend.
And I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, if that's what you want to believe, I couldn't make it work. I left
Yeah,
because
they're gonna come
this
back.
is an unmoral, unethical, corrupt company, and I could not, for the life of me, promote them anymore. I remember boxes would come to the door, and I'd be like, "I'll open those tomorrow." Like it became such this for me that I was like, "I'm done. I can't do this anymore." And I remember talking to my upline and telling her all of these things on a Friday afternoon. And then I remember leaving like the following Monday and announcing it. And she messaged me and was like, "How dare you do this to me? How, like we had a plan, we had a deal. You were going to stay until the end of the year. I can't believe you're doing this to me." And I was like, the stress is eating me alive. Like my bonus checks were cut like crazy because the old comp plan was a pyramid scheme and the new comp plan is real, but no one trained us in between to like be able to switch it over. So I went from $6,600 bonus a month to 350, and you get a huge pay cut like that. The money you're making from Lularoe becomes what you're paying your bills with. You no longer can buy inventory because the money you're making goes to pay your bills. And I know there are people that are listening that are going, "Holy crap, that's what's happening to me too." And my daughter's birthday came and I could not afford to give her a party and a gift. So I did a homemade party at my mom's house, and I told her, I was like, "Look, I can't even afford to do all this right now. So many bills." And she didn't even care. It was all about her. It was all about, "I can't believe you did this to me," because I was a trainer with a trainer underneath me, and I was 2 away from hitting coach. And once she got me as a coach, she was 1 step closer to mentor. And when I left, it all crumbled underneath her too. And I really hope that's not true. I really hope she was just sad and that all of this stuff isn't the reason why she was so mean to me and hurt me so bad. I mean, I thought we were friends. I confided in her, she confided in me. And then all of a sudden I was chopped liver. So,
Yeah. Money does a lot to people.
that's what it
Yeah.
is. Oh,
Money and
well.
fear. A lot of you touched on this. A lot of people are asking about comp plan. Yeah, so
Yeah.
comp plan, the way they had it before, let me break it down the way that I saw it. Basically, the reason why they were convincing you to order is because they wanted to take all the shit from their warehouse and put it into your living room, and all the leaders got paid off a commission off of your orders, and so that's illegal in the MLM world. You cannot do that. The only way you can pay a commission or some sort of a donation bonus plan is off of sales, and so after they did that for a long time, and they got the hammer put down on them, they had to change it to sales. And so
Took 6 months to
basically
change
what
over
happened
though.
was, yeah, it took 6 months because they wanted to get everything out of their
Moldy warehouse.
they wanted to get everything out of the warehouse. But what happened was, the leaders that was conditioned to, because I saw the reports,
I don't think Noir's died
there was
overdose.
there was leaders that were only ordering the minimum amount, and they were just buying it themselves and not even really selling clothes. They were just hoarding clothes in their house. But they would
And
just have to buy
wholesaling to their
100 or
team, like, "Oh, I
175
ordered too
pieces.
many."
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They just hit their minimums, but then
And then wholesale it on.
manipulated their whole downline to order as many as you can because they got paid a commission on it. Kim Moylan's is one. She never sold anything. Sadie Thompson's another.
That's all
My
my upline right
ex-girlfriend
there.
Matt.
All the way
Yeah.
up.
So when it changed to sales, they all got screwed because they didn't teach any of their team or really condition. And Roberta, if you take offense to this, I'm sorry, but the reason it changed is because the shit didn't sell. You know what I mean? It doesn't really sell. If you break down the numbers, 2016, there was 150,000 people that were brought on, times that by $6,000, that's $1.2 billion. So only $100 million of clothes were sold to humans that put it on their bodies. The rest of it was onboarding money that people took, or that people paid Lularoe. So that's all that is. So I would predict there's $1 billion or more worth of clothes in people's garages and living rooms,
Oh
not
yeah,
on people's bodies.
definitely.
That's a scam. That's where a pyramid scheme comes in.
I mean, honestly, the consultants are the true consumer, because we're literally buying $600 to $1,200 at a time blind bags. That's what we're buying. We're buying blind bags and going, I hope it gets something good. And you'd open your box and you'd get maybe 4 or 5 like unicorns, and you're like, sweet, I'm gonna sell 5 things today.
Yeah, half of it would sell. So then you have half still there, and then you order more, and then half of that would sell, and so then you have a full inventory full of shit, right?
Right.
And then you have to keep ordering, and by the time you realize this stuff doesn't sell, you got $20,000 worth of stuff that doesn't sell, and a credit card hiked up. That's why I said in June, get out. I warned everyone, get out. Do not send your inventory back, because they're going to hold it hostage, and they're going to, you know, I knew they were going to stop it. I mean, that's just how they are. I mean, there's nothing, they're not in this for you guys. They're in it for their kids and their grandkids and their like future. Like that's the truth. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I personally think they just want all of you guys to quit and like only have 10 consultants left, and then be like, hey, who cares? We already got all your money.
Make fun of anyone, or, you know, like,
we already got $4 billion.
I'm like, that's not good. I mean, I feel like every day I wake up and there's some sort of Lularoe drama that I'm like, that's gonna be fun today.
Yes, Sarah Feather.
Someone tagged you in a comment. I'm just like, oh my god.
Sarah Featherling, favoritism is real.
Favoritism is real.
And I'm a family member. So leaders, family members definitely got first pick. I mean, it's not as like exaggerated as everyone thinks. So like they got to like go in early or whatever, but definitely like there was things pulled aside for leaders and top sellers. And people have been asking about top sellers. Of course, like they're in this to make money. So like in their mind, why would we give people that can't sell the clothes that sell? You know what I mean? Like
Emily, I don't know about the priority ordering, but I do know that, isn't it Kim's husband Doug's company that built New Bless? Yeah. So if the top mentor's husband is the one that made the program, I'm assuming that he could also put some back doors in there. But I don't know, because I never got those links. I know we'll do another one of these. I know a lot of you guys are asking questions about like consultant type stuff, like inventory and special treats and special everythings. Because Sam wasn't a consultant, we have Courtney, who is a mentor, who's the first mentor to leave. She's going to do one of these too. So we'll do another like a Q&A post where you guys can post your questions. We like to go through them and try to find the ones that are the most popular so that we can just hit those marks. The Alex story.
How about we do this really quick? Yeah, I'll just look at the ones coming up right now.
Yeah,
Alex story,
nepotism for sure. Yeah,
I love Alex so much. Alex used to work for my company. I wouldn't put it past Alex. He's a dope dude. If that story's true, I forgive him. I love him. You know, I know that's not why he got fired though. He got fired for getting in a fight with someone before that even hit the press. So if you guys have any other questions right now that I haven't hit, feel free to ask. I'll scroll through. Stolen artwork, it's obvious.
A lot of these artists are so tiny that if they try to go up against Lularoe, and Courtney can attest to this, Lularoe has such a big legal team that they will just drag you through the fees until they outlawyer you. So a lot of these small artists are like, it's really not worth it. It's really not worth it. And Lularoe wins again because Lularoe outlawyers the small people. Lularoe outlawyers the little guys at the bottom. And, you know, I was like, do I speak up? Do I say something? Do I go live? I know this is probably going to be in every single group as of tomorrow, and on Facebook and on YouTube and all of this stuff. And that's fine. Nothing I said is a lie. Nothing I said was, you know, it's all true. It's our truth. This is what happened. And it's absolutely ridiculous to me. This whole thing is just insane.
I'm going to say this right now too, Roberta, because we've been talking about this. Everyone right now needs to go get their Lularoe checked for mold. I'm not kidding you. There's tons of sicknesses happening, and it's tracking back to that. OSHA's getting involved. Lots of investigations getting involved. Check your house. Track it back to mold. And is there an email yet set up to email if
Don't
they
think
have
we have a
sicknesses or
mold
track
email
it back?
set up yet. But, you know, I
Blondie
posted those mold
Afro,
videos
Sarah Gibbons,
yesterday.
yeah.
I went into my old Lula room, which is at my mom's house. And so I went over there to get everything because I knew it was there. I feel really bad that I've been suscepting my mom to mold for the last year and a half, but she is nice and is like, she accepted my apology. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And
Michael
5 minutes of being
Anna,
in that room,
yeah,
five
Michael
minutes, you
Anna.
guys. I had heart palpitations. My chest felt tight. I couldn't
Oh,
breathe. I was like, what the
shoot.
heck? I hadn't even opened the bag yet. I brought the bags home. I opened them so I could take videos and pictures so that we would have them so I could show you guys. So you could go, oh my gosh, I have those too. I got wet leggings too. I got sticky leggings too. Oh my God, oh my God. And the whole rest of the day, I was in bed. I felt like I had the flu. I had the hot and cold sweats, respiratory problems, coughing, this like couldn't clear my throat. My eyes were watering like crazy. I felt disoriented. I couldn't remember. My husband was talking to me and I'm like, I'm so sorry. What did you just say? It was the weirdest thing. So if you guys are having these symptoms, please, 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 please. That was for me just looking and taking pictures of mold for like 10 minutes. Insane.
Yeah,
You guys, please protect yourselves. If you think there's
yeah.
anything that could be moldy, put them in those $5 tubs at Target, those plastic ones, and just keep them in there. Keep them safe. I don't want you guys to get any more sick than you're already getting sick. Because my daughter's had
You
a
guys,
cough since
yeah, and
July, and that's the day I brought my inventory home from my mom's house into our house. My daughter's had a cough since July, and I was just like, "Oh, it's postnasal drip. It's allergies." And if it's mold, guess who's not going to be as quiet as she's been? So you don't mess with my kids and my family.
yeah. No, I don't think a lot of these people feel that way. Someone asked about the future of the company. Like I said, they already took everyone's money, so like they don't care if anyone quits. They ain't gonna give you your money back. That's the truth right there. I think it's going down
The future
personally.
of the company
What was
is
your tipping
I'll
point?
never let go, Jack.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'll never let
What
go.
was the tipping point for me? Okay, so let's say 5 more minutes on this. The tipping point for me was I would have to say when Deanne didn't show up to the last week of tour. She said it was because Michael and Anna. Yeah, Michael and Anna. That's a whole nother story. But was having their twins. It wasn't because of that. It was because she didn't want to go. She was full of money. She didn't care. She didn't want to go. That's the truth. I had to handle that whole tour by myself. You guys were there. Raleigh. I think it was like Tampa, Miami. You're all there. Deanne didn't go. Thoughts on the Bobby scandal? I think Bobby's a
Garbage person.
jackass. I want Bobby to come over to Utah so me and him can have a one-on-one talk. Bobby, if you're listening to this, if you hear this, come over here. Me and
Do
my
better in the future,
bandmates,
buddy.
my Polynesian bandmates, we all want to have a talk with you for how you treat people with disabilities. I don't care if your sister-in-law is Down syndrome. You don't do that. That's not appropriate. And I don't care if you say haters gonna hate, all that stuff, man. You should get not only terminated, but you should get your ass whooped. What you should get. That's what I think about Bobby. Let's see.
Michael and Anna
I bet my
are siblings-ish that are married.
yeah. So this is the deal. Deanne and Ken, her first husband, adopted Daniela, Alex, and Michael when they were babies. Okay, in like the early '90s, before her affair. She was Mark's mistress before that all happened. Like Daniela said, at 3 years old, she just all of a sudden Mark became dad. But then later on, they would go back and do humanitarian trips, and they met a guy named Tony, Catalin, and Anna, who were in an orphanage, and they brought them and sponsored them, and I've employed them and helped them out a lot too.
Were they like
She now claims them as
foster,
their kids.
or they just were
No, they were just sponsored. So it never blood. They never even lived together. They just because Deanne was like the mom that like sponsored all these people. So it's not weird to us,
right?
but it's weird when she says like siblings got married. Like she thinks that's funny, but like when it's a Mormon saying that, I always was like, dude, people ain't gonna think that's funny. They're gonna think like this is like incest. You know what I mean? Like Mormons already have a bad rep. Like it's not gonna help. You know what I mean? Tax fraud for sure. Like anything that has to do with sales tax, like it's whack. Like I don't know if they paid the taxes for you or whatever, but
I don't
that
know
was
anything
definitely a
about the
red
lab.
flag. Right?
I'm blocked because I
Yeah, I
said he
mean,
looked like he liked Nickelback.
yeah, yeah. Let's see. Is it true about money laundering? Yeah, I'm guessing it's true. I don't know for sure, but you know, my dad always says, you know, if it smells like a fart, it's a fart. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest. And regarding the mildew, you know, clothing and stuff, you got to remember, Corona, the warehouse is out by the mountains. It's out by a lot of like
Farms.
what do you call it? Like
Oh, there's a lot of industrial stuff
farms.
out there
And so
too.
there's a lot of, yeah, manure, a lot of animals out there. So, dude, tons of stuff. How long were you at the company? I was at the company 14 months. Mold since when? I would say May 2016 through like September is when all these 8 million or
I got
more
moldy
clothes were
stuff in, I want to say
under.
July of 2016. Moldy and
Yeah,
wet,
but that's when
soaking
they
wet,
were.
wringing out leggings.
That's when they were exposed. But then they got transferred to the Fontana building, and who knows how long they've been sitting there, being just like shipped out to you guys as it's ordered. You know what I mean? You
Triangles
go in
because
for
they
a
look like
second
pyramids.
surgery in 3 weeks. Someone's going in for a second surgery due to mold. Wow. Everyone go get checked.
And if you have these stories,
Seriously.
reach out to one of us. Just send us a message because we're
Reach out
compiling
to
all these
Roberta.
stories. What?
Roberta, reach out to Roberta.
Yeah, Sam probably has like
I
87,000 unread
can't keep up with my
messages.
inbox already. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I'm going through this bankruptcy near future, I would guess.
Fontucky,
Do you think
for
Lularoe
sure.
will be in? Yeah, I know, right? Wait. Okay. Man, you guys.
Carly dresses
What's
also
the Blondie
came
bro
wet. I
scandal?
had wet ones too. I had those long Charlie and the Chocolate Factory grandpa pajamas, Carly's, you know, the ones that are like really long and weird. Those came wet. I remember that. Those were wet.
Yeah, go get your kids checked, you
Yeah.
guys. Seriously. I'm trying to hustle through these rashes. A lot of you guys are talking. What's the Blondie and Bro scandal?
I don't
What?
know
Yeah,
either.
Blondie and it
When
was
Blondie and
Blondie and
Brownie
Brownie
split
that
up.
were together, and they split up, and one got the team and one got the
The
sales
QBs.
people,
I
and they
think
had
Blondie got the existing team and Brownie got all the QBs. And they split.
yeah,
But I don't
something
know.
like that, and like the sales group. But it was a mess. I saw it. I watched it all. They hate each other. I don't know if they still do, but they hated each other at the time.
And you know what?
What are the
There's
chances of
so
getting
much drama with consultants. I've heard people say the rudest, meanest things about other people that I've seen them like the next day act like they're friends. And I'm like,
Jessica Lynn, you asked. I know, right? Jessica Lynn, you asked about back surgery. I don't know if she got back surgery. I know she got liposuction. She got tummy tucks. You know, she got all that kind. I mean, it's obvious. Look at her.
plastics.
You know what I
You
mean?
want a skinny
Lots of that
plastics.
comes with drugs. And you know, I know Mommy Guyver talked about, you know, what are the in Tucson the pharmacist. It's true. I mean, it's all
Yeah.
true. It's true stuff. You know, Deanne gets pills from everyone. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's
Deanne
true,
hands
you
out
guys.
Xanax backstage.
Yeah. Well,
Are you
yeah,
nervous?
I mean,
Have a Xanax.
yeah. You ate with me? Oh, I paid for your lunch. Oh wait. Oh, I ate with you at a lunch you paid for. Well, hey, good to see you again. Love you.
Randy.
Yeah, the consultant discriminated a deaf client. Yeah, you suck. I watched that. That was stupid.
Randy was the first male consultant, and he gave Patrick his favorite baseball tee, and Patrick stole the design of it and made the Randy. Surprise, surprise.
I don't know. Is Bobby and Taya LDS? Because
Yes.
definitely when Mark talked about, yeah, then that would make sense. I mean, definitely when Mark talked about, they seemed repentant. That's such an LDS thing, and like Mark and Leanne of all people have had to be repentant. Yeah. Yes, Mark and Deanne were excommunicated from the Mormon Church.
I don't know the lab
They're
guy.
reinstated.
Randy does
Yeah, the
still sell.
lab
I
guy.
saw him
Yeah,
selling the other day.
same thing with the lab guy. I met him in Tampa. He was an interesting fellow. Same thing, man. Don't tell people to jump off cliffs. Come on, man. These are your people that are supporting your family. I want you to come over to Utah too and talk to my homie Pati. Pati, if you're on, I want the lab guy to come over and have a conversation with us. Because don't treat humans that way. We don't put up with that kind of stuff. Okay, a couple more. Let's see.
I'm just singing Book of Mormon songs. I am behaving. I didn't say any bad words.
I haven't seen Book of Mormon. I need to see it. I
It's
was a missionary
amazing.
like that.
My husband's like, let's go see it again. I'm like, okay. It's amazing.
I'll go if you take me. If you and your husband take me. Because I was a Mormon missionary from 2000 2002 in Seattle, Washington.
That's what it's about. It's about
why
Mormon
did Deanne
missionaries
and
in
Diane
Uganda.
split? That's a good question. Deanne and Diane. So, twin sisters. Deanne is kind of the business hustler. Diane is actually a seamstress. She came up with the idea of the maxi skirt. It wasn't Nicole. It was Diane's daughter, Stephanie. Yeah, Honey and Lace Epiphany is the company now. But Deanne always did little girls' dresses that she would get, kind of the knockoff Costco dresses, and sell them for super cheap in people's homes. And when Diane started making maxi skirts, a lot of friends started wanting maxi skirts. Moms of these that were buying these little girls' dresses, so they teamed up and they called it what was it? Fitted maxis or something. I posted a post about it and the business card. But Deanne and Mark,
their like tour schedule that they had.
Yeah, Deanne and Mark, they actually did a party. Both of them did a party at my restaurant in Idaho. But Deanne and Mark cut out Diane.
Yeah, Amy. We'll all go see Book of Mormon in San Diego.
Do my parents have a relationship with Mark and Deanne? My dad, if there was one person that I would say my dad dislikes the most in his life, it's Deanne. And my mom loves her sister, but she loves her son a lot more. I will say that. So that's the situation there. Because my mom also understands that, them saying, I didn't fit the culture. Yeah, I don't fit the culture of greed and dishonesty and deflection of their own skeletons and all that kind of stuff.
I'm not selling anything.
Any others? Hey, my sister-in-law's on. Everyone say hi to Ruth. Hi, Ruth. Ruth Schultz is my sister-in-law. She has $40,000 in inventory that her Aunt Deanne won't give back to her.
You know why, though? It's because they don't have any money. That's why they have to keep dropping all these capsules. They have no money.
Ruth can confirm this. How did Justin create Yo Gabba Gabba, and how many seasons? Because Ruth's husband co-created Yo Gabba. Did Justin create Yo Gabba, and how many seasons did he work on Yo Gabba? She's probably not going to respond. She's going to be so pissed that I called her out. She's probably trying to be all.
Buffy is a niece of Deanne, right?
Buffy's a niece
she's
of
your cousin.
Deanne and Diane. She's my first cousin. When Deanne cut out Diane started Honey and Lace, and Buffy was kind of her first consultant and was helping Diane with her business. And Buffy was actually the first person who came up with the idea of leggings. So Buffy, that goes to Buffy. I was there. Buffy came up with leggings, and then Diane and Deanne, ran with that idea. So the fact that you guys all think Lularoe is the leggings company, Agnes and Dora, Buffy was the first one. Not that it matters. It's one big one big stupid clothing mafia that needs to just, everyone needs to just love each other. And
it's a
really
clothing conglomerate. You know what I mean? It's like,
I know,
too many fingers and eyes.
Katie, if you lost a best friend, she's going to come back. Don't worry about it. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. It's really all I have to say.
I think a lot of people need to understand, this, it really has a cult mentality. And when we go, but my friend isn't into it. Like my friend says this, you're told, well, you don't need that negativity. They're negative. Cut out the negativity. They're just going to bring you down. They're going to bring your business down. You need to focus on your business and not what people are saying. Even though it's everywhere, even though there's proof of it everywhere, they're so like tunnel vision. It is the craziest thing. And I would never have ever understood it had I not been like in it and seen it and fell for it. Like the fool, you know, I'm a fool. I'm sure a lot of us feel that way. I'm sure you feel that way too. And this is your family.
Shout out to Tatiana Hill. Yeah, I do feel that way. I'll come down and see you guys. Someone just invited me to Book of Mormon. I really do want to see it, actually. Here's a funny story. I'll tell you guys a story. One of my first events was the Coaches Retreat. And these are all the mentors now. Man, I had the funnest night with like Lindsay Wheeler,
Justin Lyon, yeah.
Tori Macy's, Brittany Hunter. No. I'm talking like we partied, had fun. We drank alcoholic beverages. Brittany Hunter, who's Mormon, she was there. I thought it was normal. I thought that's what Lularoe did, is they had fun. So I was like, okay, I'm in, let's do this. And I went and had fun at the Coaches Retreat. And then soon after that, you know, goodness gracious, I found out that wasn't allowed. So anyways, who else is on here? Rochelle. Oh,
and
man,
Jason,
all my homies.
Mr. Butterbritches. He's gone too.
By the way, you guys, a lot of people have asked about Deanne's kids. Yeah, Deanne's son is Jason, the marketing director at Lularoe. So Honey and Lace's son is the marketing director at Lularoe. Yeah. There's that one. Digest that one. Ruth. Oh, Ruth.
Amelia James isn't related.
I love you, Ruth. No comment. That just means it's true. Thank you for no comment. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, we're not
okay,
here to bash people.
No.
And our 100%, it's about transparency. It's about finding the truth and seeking justice for these women who have no other voice or are afraid to speak up. I don't.
Michelle, you keep talking about Justin. Is it Justin Lyon? Yes, Justin Lyon, the guy you see on all the webinars, and you don't know if he's being himself or not. You know, be you. Everyone asks if he is, and
Shanna,
who knows?
PR,
That's the big mystery.
Shanna?
What?
That's who runs PR now, right? Shanna? I don't know what her name is.
Yeah, I hired her. She used to work in events for me. She's not over PR anymore. Some other dude is over PR now.
Oh, isn't it Oliver or something? What happened to him? Is he gone?
I never knew Oliver.
It was like the Swedish guy, I think.
Okay, let's see who else. Roberta, I think we did a darn good job. Courtney, you're up next. Yeah, it's about transparency.
I know my husband. I promised my husband.
Okay, so I'm gonna end this.
Tonight, and I'm 40 minutes over.
Husband, so. What's your husband's name? Charlie. Thank you for letting us do this, you guys. I got to go be with my daughters. They're asleep inside. Yeah, Justin had an affair on his wife. He got excommunicated from the Mormon Church. It's the truth. I'm just being honest. He's dragged my name through the mud, and guess what? They probably will continue to, but I'm leaving this with you guys to tell you that I'm warning you just to be yourself. Listen to your gut. If your gut says stay there, stay there. If your gut says leave, leave. But have the balls to leave and stand up for who you are. You know what I mean? Stand up for, if you're nervous about your downline, you should be standing up for your downline. You should be setting that example like Roberta and other people have done. My phone's blowing up with family members right now. Oh my gosh, Buffy's texting me right now. Oh shoot. Buffy, I gave you a shout out. You're the first one leggings. I mean, I don't know what you're going to say to me. But anyways,
I'm sure I'll be blocked from all Lularoe things from now on, which is fine.
That's the message that I have to share. You know, I am only being transparent. It's taken me a year to do this.
We talked about DDS.
You all yeah, we talked about DDS. You'll have to watch the replay. But, you know, I'm just going to leave it with this. I honor my time at Lularoe, mainly my first 6 months and meeting all of you guys. And I honor, you know, my aunt for giving me a platform to remember who I was. I don't honor her decision since June of 2016, her decision and Mark's decision to do what they've done to me and drag my name through the mud. But, you know, you guys have to now make that decision. And I am here to warn you that today on the webinar is a lie. Most things they've said on webinars are lies. And I'm just here, I'm just being completely transparent and honest. And you guys have seen everything I've said. I've never heard from them. So they either are formulating a massive lawsuit against me, or they're just bummed that I'm willing to speak up and stand up for women that are getting taken advantage of. Like literally families going broke and losing their houses, and like real stories. And these are people that are now, you know, living this lavish, greedful life. And if I lose every family member because of an aunt and uncle that are doing this to humans, fine, I have a soul family. You know what I mean? I got brothers in a band. You know what I mean? I know my truth. I know the light that I stand in, and that's the only light I can stand in, and that's why I left Lularoe, you know. And so I just wanted to go live, finally put it all out there. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. You know, definitely get your clothes checked, because there is mold and mildew in a lot of those clothes. There's reason there's holes in that. That's no joke. You know, when I made a post, I didn't post any pictures. Bugs. And when I made that post, I didn't post pictures. You guys posted pictures. You guys Google Earthed it. So I mean, that just goes to show, like, I'm telling the truth. I'm not here to like promote myself. I'm here to stand up for you guys. And it's a moral obligation. It's a dream that I had, and that I am supposed to stand up for you guys in a time of massive need. Depression, suicide, anxiety. I had a girl call me just a couple hours ago saying she had a massive anxiety attack. She's going to the emergency room. This is real stuff. And guess what? People aren't listening. You know what I mean? And so I'm here just for that exact reason. And so love you guys. And please, if there's anything you can do now, is stick up for each other that have been taken advantage of, that have lost money, and that are now struggling because they feel like failures, and they feel like they did their team wrong. They feel like they brought people into this cult. So many things that there's now people that need your help, especially if you've been out of it for a while. Help people that are getting out, that are scared. I don't know how many people I've said, help me get out, help me have the courage. You know, I can't do that for everyone, but guess what? It's real. So you guys need to be that for people, because life isn't about money. It's about family, and it's about your kids, and it's about protecting your family. You know what I mean? And the fact that when I got a cease and desist and I got fired and cut out for the reason I did, and the rumors that got spread, that was a projection and a deflection of their own sins and their own skeletons. And that's what I'm most mad about. So I love you guys. I'm grateful for you. And I'm so stoked. You guys think, I'm in a bad place, or my sister said I'm sick and unhealthy. I'm not. I'm the happiest I've ever been. I'm going to Samoa. I'm going to go give some clean water, do some humanitarian work. I'm excited for the future. So love you. Thanks, Roberta, for doing this. And thanks for allowing me to sit in the 35 degrees weather just for you. If I can do it, you can do it.
I would love to sit in 35-degree weather. I'm sweating right now.
I can't even move my finger to press finish.
It's so hot in here. I'm like,
oh my goodness. My fingers are frozen.
My fingers
are toasty.
Guys.
Hey, Love you so much.
Bye, guys. Keep spreading the truth and keep spreading the love,
Yeah.
and always know that you can come to us and talk to us at any time you absolutely need to.
I do want to say this, though. You told me not to, and I held back. But I am going on tour with Wyclef around the United States. Wyclef Jean with the Fugees around the U.S. And I'm saying this because I want to see you guys. That's who I want to see. So come to my show and give me high fives, hugs, like you did at the convention or the Inspire Tours. Wyclef Jean. Love you, Roberta. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.